Yes, hi everyone. For this video tutorials, I'm going to demonstrate about the gradient line poster assignment, uh, which is our weekend assignment. So I'm going to tell you how to do that. So let's create a new file. So for this time, for this poster design, let's create a 8.5 by 11-inch poster. So if your size is not 5.5 inch or by 11, just please adjust your artboard, the size of your artboard, by changing the numbers to 8.5 by 11 here. So let's give a name, which is called, I'm going to call it bird tutorial, bird poster. Yes, so let's hit create. So I'm going to reset my workspace every time to reset it into a classic essentials to start over again. So the first step, I'm going to select my shape tool, which is the first row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the fifth tool on the left row, and the rectangular tool. You can also click M on your keyboard to go this, which is the shortcut key. Let's create a rectangular shape with the same size of our artboard. And I'm going to change the background into black. So now I get a black artboard, or it's a black background here. Let's click V to go back to the selection mode, and let's go to the windows. Okay, so let's choose the layers here. So I'm going to set the name of these layers to background. So then let's lock this layer to make sure if I am drawing something here, it doesn't move left and right. So I'm locking this layer, and I'll create a new layer. For this time, I'm going to drag in materials, which is this bird. The bird, you can go to your folders and drag your image to your Illustrator. So now my picture is pretty large here. What should I do is, let's click on Shift and drag the anchor point. So anytime you want to reduce the size of your elements, don't forget to click and hold on the Shift. So if you're not holding the Shift, the proportion will just easy to turn wrong, right? So Command Z to go back. I'm going to do outline drawing for this bird. So I'm going to draw on this picture. So I'm going to lock it. It's the same thing. I want to draw something on the picture, so I'm going to lock the layers. I don't want it to move everywhere. So yes, before lock it, I'm going to name this layer as well. I'm going to name it bird. Enter, lock, create a new layer. I'm going to name this layer as line, because I'm going to do line drawing here. So make sure you're on the line layer. So if you are on the layer that is locked, you can't do anything on it. So let's go back to the line. So to do the outline drawing, you can create your path by using any tool we just talked about. So you can use the pen tool. Let's make sure your stroke is on. Let's use the pen tool. Click and drag to create the path. Well, probably it's the slowest way. So we can also use the pencil, which is located on the first row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one, the pencil tool. we can just use pencil to directly draw on our picture. Or you can also use your brush. So at this point, let's use the pencil. So always zoom in. So I'm creating the outline of the bird. At this point, your lines or drawings doesn't have to be perfect or details. So this is a really quick drawing. I'm going to divide the bird into 3 parts: the head, the wings, and the body. So now I'm drawing the head part. Yeah, now it looks okay. And I'm going to draw the body. Just outline it real quick. It's not a precise drawing. Yes, don't worry if there are some overlap here. That's totally fine. Oh, so right now I want to, okay, let's redoing it, because I want my head and my body to be the separate part, but now it seems like I accidentally connect them. So I don't want my head, my wings, the part of my wings, and my body to be connected. So I'm going to redraw the head again. So make sure, okay, it's not really. So just make sure your head is a piece of shape, a piece of closed shape. Then let's draw the body part again. Real quick outline sketching. Again, don't worry if there are some overlap. You just make sure the part of the body and the part of the head is the separate parts. So I'm going to draw the wings right now using my pencil tool. Just a really quick sketch the outline. Yes, so I divided my bird into 3 pieces. So we can somehow add some simple details. It doesn't to be a really precise thing. Just something like that. Some really rough details. Let's go back to V. So we can also turn our stroke into white to see more contrast. Here, let's select all the elements and drag it on the black art background. You can see the contrast. So first, let's select all the elements in the wings. We have to select those parts, the 3 parts one by one. Let's select the wings first. Let's go to the object. Let's go into the blend options and let's click blend options. That's if your if your spacing is not specified steps, let's switch the option to the specified steps. So 20. So I'm going to try 50 first. So we can always go back to modify them if it doesn't look good. Then let's go to the object tool again. Let's go back to the blend and hit make. So my lines just blended right here, which create a really interesting visual outcome. So if I'm not satisfied with these blend options, I can always click Command Z to go back So you can make some adjustment with the shape of your lines to try different outcomes. So you can always go back and decrease the size of the stroke. So all these settings may modify the final outcome. And you can always go back to the blend options and change the number here. So all those these several settings will change your blend outcome of your lines. So if you are not satisfied with your lines, just try them again until you are satisfied with what you get. And let's go back to the option. Let's go back to the blend and make. You see here. So this one is totally really different as what we got last time, right? So you can just modify those lines. So you can always also you can go to your direct selection tool to modify the details of your lines even when it's already blended. You can click here. You see how they are changing. As you drag one anchor point, all the lines will change togetherly. Just modify them. And yeah, so I will just keep the lines like the wings like that. And I'm going to back to my selection tool, or you hit V on your keyboard. Let's select the head part. So again, I want to decrease my stroke, and I go to the object tool, and this time I try to blend directly. Yeah, so now this one looks pretty good to me. But if you are not satisfied with yours, you can always modify the lines or modify the stroke or the steps in your blend option. So last one, the body. Let's decrease the width of the stroke. Let's go to the object, hit blend, make. Yeah, so now I blend my wings, the wings and the head and the body. So now it's a really interesting visual effects with the blended lines. So right now I want to add a gradient for my lines. So right now actually I don't need this picture anymore. So let's go back to our layers, which is Windows, layers, and let's just hit unlock our picture, and we can move this bird away because we already used these materials. And let's go back, select it. We can place it anywhere on our poster. Let's select the head part first, and let's add a gradient for the lines. So you can see the gradient option here, or you can just directly click here. There are three small square located at the bottom. Just click on the middle one, which is the blend option. You see, I applied a gradient color to the head of the bird. You can adjust the proportion, the way they are blended by dragging the two circles here. But right now, let's change the color for it. If you want to change the color, now it's blended with black and white gradient. If you want to change it, let's double click on the left gradient slider. Let's apply a color. So blue. Let's add a blue. You see this bar change, this gradient slider change into a blue. And let's double click on the right gradient slider. Let's apply a green color. Yeah. Now the head of the bird turned into the gradient line with the blend of the green and blue. Let's click back and let's add another gradient slider here, so you can add your third color. So you can add as much as the color you want. Yeah. So the bird head is blended with pink, blue, and green. It is quite interesting to me. And if I want my body to be the same color as the head, let's click and select click on the gradient here and also the wings. So if you want to change the tab of your gradient, just go to the tab, gradient tab, and select. You could see the difference between the two types of gradient. One is the round gradient, one is just like they're blended in really different ways. Here is it's a really interesting visual effects to me. So this is the main elements of my poster. I can hit Command G to group everything together, so I can move them anywhere togetherly. I will place it at the middle and I will go to my text tool. Right click and I'm going to select the normal type tool here, and I want to turn my tab into the white because I want to create more contrast. Make more contrast between the white elements with the black background. So let's add something that's related to the bird. I'm going to tab take out caps lock. Take off, fly away. Just add some really random thing that you want to add. So I want to increase the size of my text. Let's click on Shift and drag. You can always hit here to increase the number of the size. So here, so I want to modify my tab. I want to show more contrast. So I will change the first one. I will change it to extra light. I will change the second row into bold mode. So in that case, I got a contrast with the one is super light, one is super bold here. So you can always go to your character and select the fonts you want. So this is a really easy way to create a fun poster. And I can also Command C, Command V to copy and paste my elements, and I can use the flap tool to flap it. So I got two birds that fly to the different directions. And I can decrease the size by holding on Shift and decrease the size. And I can also click on the bird and ungroup the bird. And I think I can also change, I can also change the color here. Double click, where's my gradient? I'm going to turn on my gradient looping. I'm going to the windows and click on gradient. So you see, I access to my gradient again. So I double click on the gradient slider to change a different color for this bird. Probably just select the color you want. You can test with different color to see which one works the best. Just according to the topic of your poster. Oh, this one. I like this one. So right now, what if I want to change the body part of the bird to the same color as the head? So I will not go to set everything again. So I'm clicking on this select item and I go to the eyedropper tool, which you can always click on eye on your keyboard, and I will place my eyedropper tool on the head and I will click. So the color of the head, so I turned the color of the body to the exactly the same color as the bird's head. So if you want to change the wings, you can also do that by clicking it, and you can switch to a different mode. Here you see I got two birds, two blended line birds with gradient color. They're with really different gradient color, which is kind of beautiful. I will click on Command G to group it. You could see there are some contrast in the poster, right? Here is the larger elements comparing to the smaller elements, and you can perceive the contrast between the text here too. So you can also be playful with your text. So just as what we talked about from the last class, we can use the we can use the tap on path tool. So as long as you create a path, let's go to create a circle path, and let's right click and select tap on path tool. And as we are continue typing 3, I need to turn my color into a white color, and tap into a white color. Yes. So you can type something on the path, and you can go to the property and increase the distance between your fonts. Yeah. So just be playful with the layout of your tabs and the elements. So once you are done with your poster, so except these elements, the blended gradient line elements, you can always integrate your interactivities to integrate your creativities to add other elements, creative lines. We talk about use the technique we talk about from last class and the last week, with the line drawing technique. So now let's export our poster design into a PDF file. Let's click on File, Save As. I'm going to save on my computer, but you can always save to your Creative Cloud, save on your computer. I'm going to select Format into the Adobe PDF. So I'm going to save it at some place. I'm going to save it as Materials, January 25th. First, Demo. You can change the name here, Demo. Red poster here. Let's click Save. Save. And let's go to our Finders. So here is the folder I just saved my materials. So let's find. So this one is the one we just saved. Let's double click. So this is the PDF format of our poster. So for weekend, what I want you to do is let's go to the canvas. So let's go to the week 2. Here is the weekend project gradient line poster design. Let's click here and you will see a detailed description about this project. So what I would want you to do after completed, just hit start assignment and upload file, and you can choose the file, and you can select a PDF poster. You just export it and drag it here and submit the assignment. So for the weekend, I just want you to use the technique of the blending line technique I just showed you in these tutorials just to create something yourself, to design a poster with gradient line. And the topic is based on your choice, and you can find gathering the materials you like, and you will add the relevant text based on your topic and the content of your poster. Now, just be ensure that your lines creations are incorporated with the color gradient I just showed you in our video. And you can also add some additional decorative elements using the techniques we learned this week. But the poster, your design poster, will be primarily focused on the blend line, objects, animal, human, just as what I do with the bird. Yes, you can separate your animal into 3 parts, like let's draw the head, the body, the tail, and use and blend the way I does with the bird. And the poster size will be 8.5 by 11 inches, and make sure you are export it into PDF file and submit here. So for next class, we're going to conducting a critique of your poster design. So I'm going to let you to introduce your poster one by one, just to share about the topic, the concept, and the emotions your poster aims to convey, and talk about the techniques you used in Illustrator, like how you play with those elements you created, and also just reflect on your creation process and your explorations in Illustrator, and share about what you feel enjoyable and challenging in the creation process. Yes, just be playful with the layouts, the text, and the blend tool, and also the lines. Just try the technique we learned from last class. Yeah, so hopefully this video is helpful. Yes, and yes, that's the end of our tutorials for this video. Yeah, hope you have a nice weekend.